crowd that lived inside. In a little house on a quiet street lived Margot and her best friend, Barnaby. Barnaby was not an ordinary dog. He was a magnificent golden cloud with 4 paws and a wagging tail. He was the softest creature in the world, but he had one very big, very fluffy problem. Wherever Barnaby went, a little bit of him stayed behind. He shook his coat after a nap, and a Barnaby storm of fur exploded into the air, settling on the windowsills and the television. He was losing his fluff faster than the trees lost their leaves in autumn. Margot tried her best to keep up. She spent her Saturdays chasing fur bunnies under the bed and her Sundays rolling sticky tape over her favorite sweaters. But no matter how hard she worked, her morning coffee always seemed to have a tiny golden garnish floating on top. The worst part was grooming time. Every time Margot pulled out the old metal brush, Barnaby would vanish. He would hide under the dining table or behind the long velvet curtains, his big brown eyes full of worry. The old brush was scratchy and sharp, and neither of them enjoyed the struggle. One afternoon, a small package arrived at the door. Inside were 2 bright blue gloves covered in hundreds of tiny, soft rubber nubs. "These don't look like brushes," Margot whispered, sliding them onto her hands. They felt flexible and soft, just like magic mittens. Margot knelt on the floor and called softly. Barnaby approached slowly, sniffing the air. He didn't see the scary metal brush, only Margot's open hands. She reached out and gave him a gentle stroke down his back, then another and another. Barnaby's tail gave a tentative wag. This didn't feel like grooming. It felt like a massage. He leaned into Margot's hands, closing his eyes in bliss as she petted him from his ears all the way down to his wagging tail. The magic mittens were catching every loose hair before it could fly away. When Margot finished, her gloves were thick with golden fur. She took a corner of the hair and gave it a light tug. To her amazement, the entire layer of fur peeled away in one solid, satisfying sheet, just like a piece of soft felt. For the first time in a long time, the house felt still. The velvet couch was blue again, not golden. The rugs were clean, and the air was clear. Barnaby looked sleek and shiny, and Margot didn't have to spend her evening chasing fur bunnies. Now, grooming time is their favorite time of day. It's not a chore or a struggle. It's just 2 best friends sharing a quiet moment. Barnaby gets his rubs, Margot gets her clean house, and the only thing floating in the air is the feeling of a very happy home.